Welcome to this episode of Engagement Now. My name is Moname Malathip, Executive Director of Student Advancement, and today we're discussing parenting in the digital age. We'll explore how technology is impacting this generation of scholars. We have with us today Patricia O'Connor, Media Specialist at Roland Elementary, parent Melanie Whitlock, Colin Robinson, Area Partnership Manager with Imagine Learning, and LaTanya Winters, District Parent and Family Engagement Liaison. Thank you for being here today. So let's get started. I'm going to start with you, Patricia, a media specialist.
Yes.
How has the role of this digital age changed the role of the media specialist in the schools?
Probably a lot. I mean, very definitely a lot. In the olden days, there were card catalogs, and the information was out there. Whatever you wanted to know was in some record, probably somewhere. So you had to go to a great deal more trouble and time to find that answer. Now, the answer is at your fingertips. However, the saying goes, Google can give you a million answers, but the librarian helps you find the one that you really need. So it has changed quite a bit.
Wow, I remember the card catalogs. As soon as you said that, I was visualizing my high school library with the drawers of the cards and having to find and certain numbers and looking a little bit nostalgic about that, right? So it has changed quite a bit. I'm going to ask Collins here, who is a partner with us at DeKalb County School District with Imagine Learning. Share with us what Imagine Learning is, and in this digital age of learning, how does that help support our students?
Well, Imagine Learning provides language and literacy and math programs to the schools. And the goal of our company is to provide teachers with tools that will help them make their lives a little bit easier. If you can imagine a classroom with 28 to 30 kids, they all have different skills, they all learn differently. And what we want to do with technology is use technology to engage the child so they can actually take control of their learning, but more so provide information to the teachers quickly in terms of where they're performing and where their gaps are, so that they can actually close that performance gap. And so we have I wish I could have taken credit for the statement that we say to close the achievement gap, you have to close the engagement gap. Wish I could take credit for that. I didn't come up with that. That was a noted educator, Jim Warford. But it's true, and that's what we want to do with technology. Let technology do the heavy lifting that the teachers can't do, but then provide the information so teachers can do the socio-emotional work that every child needs.
Absolutely. Yes. So in the home, Melanie, as a parent, I'm sure everyone sitting here has a cell phone and data, and they're able to connect on their social media and do some Googling and looking up some things. And our students in DeKalb County School District have access to now Chromebooks, and so they're able to take digital devices home and then use it at their school. As a parent, from that vantage point, how has this digital age changed how you support your students at home with their homework? How do you support your students at home when engaging with schools in this digital time?
Sure, absolutely. So I think one is your commitment as a parent and with the schools and partnership. Clear communication with your child at home, being on a consistent path in regards to the digital age and the technology. Cell phones, the biggest driver. My daughter, she's 12, and she can't live without her cell phone. And so as a parent, you have to stay engaged and do audits. Do audits on your children's cell phone, any type of, I know at our school, our principal is an advocate for if you have your digital dreamers, so your Chrome notebook, make sure that your children, parents, we need your support. Children are not going to various websites because it's so much out there in the technology world. So you have to closely engage as a parent in the digital age. And I would just say stay connected and keep the lines of communication open with your child at home, in and out of home, in the school.
Staying connected is another phrase that I don't
Yes.
know if it's been coined or trademarked or copyrighted, used very often, but it's very key to not only making sure that your students are not on sites that they should not be on, and that whole cybersecurity, that parents have to be aware of, but also being able to access sites that will help them academically. So having that kind of resource parents will be aware of in providing for their students. LaTanya, from a district perspective, we offer a lot of services for our families. We have different episodes that we've put on so far that our parents can take advantage of, and they learn through this Engagement Now program. But with the digital age and students having at their fingertip all this information, and they know a lot more. They're growing up really, really fast. What are some of the things that we are seeing that parents need to be aware of, maybe they're not aware of? And what are some tips to help our parents understand and navigate through this digital age?
I will say that one of the things that we're doing in the Department of Parent and Family Engagement, we're definitely making the programs that we do more accessible as it pertains to technology. One of the classes that I was doing in the schools when parents couldn't come, then we have it to where we can email them the link, they can get on, view the videos, and do the work. I know that Ms. Coward is very big on us having the equipment in the hub to be able to Skype into parents, because parents want to come. Some are at home, some are on jobs where they may be able to view what we're doing, but they may not be able to be active. One of the things that I've seen as a parent, my children are all in their 20s now, but I think you said something very key, and one word of advice I would give is to audit your children's technology. When the boys were growing up, there was still MySpace. And at night, everyone had to put their devices in my bedroom. Laptops, iPads, and phones were plugged up in my room because I cannot monitor everybody at night, 3 different people doing something. And so I think auditing what they're doing and being more engaged. At the district level, I think we're doing a great job of infusing technology in everything that we do, and I'm sure we can always do better, but I think some of the feedback that I've gotten from parents is that we're doing a decent enough job. Lastly, I'll say this. One of the sessions in one of the classes that I teach in active parenting, we talk about communication. One of the ways that I was able to really touch parents, and I learned as I teach, I was saying if you're always on your phone, and you're talking to your child, and you're always doing this, and you're always here, when they do it, you cannot reprimand them because they're only doing what they see. And so it made them stop and think, okay, I need to completely put my device away and give my undivided attention to my student. And then teaching them, I think we touched on it yesterday, about how they can use the cell phone to access Messenger, Infinite Campus, and other district technology supports.
Having technology when it works is a good thing, and when it doesn't work, it's not a good thing. And I'm sure there's a lot of research coming out now about the stressors and anxiety of even having this type of access. Colin, as an organization that provides digital learning type of curriculum for school systems, there's a lot of conversation about homework and the number of hours students are on homework. And now with this easier access, it seems to be easier for maybe teachers to add homework. How can a program like yours or any kind of digital curriculum ensure that the type of, or the amount of homework or the amount of access is just enough, for student achievement?
Yeah, that's an excellent question, and that's something that we're all thinking about in terms and wrapping our heads around. And what information can we provide teachers as well as parents that's going to really benefit them and also the students? So how do we identify exactly the pieces that each child needs, and then provide that information to parents and teachers? And so we've actually incorporated a lot of that in our software, where we, when the child is involved in our program and they're going through their individualized curriculum, if they need additional help with certain skill sets, either in reading or math, it's going to actually identify those and then alert that to the teacher, share that with the teacher. And then also we're actually actively building that a parent engagement piece where we can now share that information with parents so that when the child comes home with that work, they will know exactly what they need to work on. And we can just give those specific pieces that the child needs to really focus on to get them where they need to be.
So the parents can be completely involved and
Completely
engaged in this whole
involved. I mean,
process
you know,
and
parent-
monitor that.
Absolutely.
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 Patricia, media specialist, such a cool title. Thank you. What are some of those cool things you do in the schools to help our students in this digital age? Curriculum, lessons, and helping teachers as well?
Right. I mean, I think the media specialists are definitely the value added to the curriculum. And I do all kinds of things. Some of it technology, some of it not. For instance, right now it's very non-technology, but to get parental involvement over the break, our holiday break coming up, we're sending home a bingo sheet, a reading activity bingo sheet. And, we tell the kids they get a prize when they come back with it completed. And I put it on the website for our parents to know about. We're going to do robocall. We'll send it out on remind.com, and et cetera, just to get the parents to help their kids get involved with reading, among all the other activities they'll have over the break. Because we want the kids to read, and we want the parents to get involved. As far as technology with the kids, there are a million different things we do. I give the teachers resources that would go with their curriculum, electronic resources. I remind them of what we have subscriptions to, just on a regular basis. I do a SMORE newsletter, smore.com, which lets the teachers know what's going on in the Media Center, what could happen in the Media Center, what has already happened in the Media Center, and the parents also would do have access to that as well. I also teach a cyber safety class to all our kids because I think it is so important. I have elementary. We have little kids there, up through 5th grade. But even them, I remind them of their digital footprints and the possibility of, if you're older like me, I had the advantage of not living my whole life online. If you're younger, you don't have that. That information can be at your fingertips. That information was always out there again, but much more difficult to access. So especially like my 4th and 5th graders, I really remind them, number one, you need to be on the internet. If you have social media, you need to be on with your parents as a family account. I'm not in favor of, at that age, yeah. And so then I also remind them of what they put up there could stay forever. And employers can and do look at what you're putting up there. So the idea is not to fight with your friend on Facebook or Instagram or wherever. How about putting something positive about yourself that won't give away your identity up there? If you go, I always use the example, if you help with the animals at the animal shelter, put that up there. I said, and don't do it if you really don't walk the dogs, okay. But we want them to just start thinking about putting your positive digital footprint out there.
So the key is safety and security.
Safety and security.
And have fun with it.
Yes.
Now let's hear from some of our other parents.
I believe that parents should be aware and comfortable with social media. They should even be friends with their students on social media just to stay in the loop and know what's going on.
It's our job as parents to really teach our kids how to handle social media in the new age. We need to help them learn to balance our traditional learning with 21st century learning.
Parenting in the digital age, you must monitor. You must know what they're doing online, and also take those cell phones and tablets away from them during the night so that they can get some rest.
I can find out about my child's grades through Infinite Campus on any digital device, such as my phone.
Thank you so much for joining us on this wonderful episode of Engagement Now, talking about parenting in the digital age. I appreciate you all being here today, Colin, LaTanya, Patricia, Melanie. Such an engaging conversation. My name is Moname Malathib, Executive Director of Student Advancement. Thank you again for joining our show.